Good afternoon. This is All India Radio, and I'm Lalima Aneja Dang with the Midday News. The headlines. India and ASEAN share a common vision in ensuring peace, prosperity and stability in the region, says Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on a 3-day visit to Indonesia tomorrow to attend the 17th G20 summit in Bali. Campaigning gains momentum for the two-phase assembly polls in Gujarat. India underscores the need of finance for adaptation at the UN Climate Conference COP27 in Egypt. And in cricket, T20 World Cup final between Pakistan and England underway at Melbourne. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has said that India places great value on ASEAN as an important pillar of regional, multilateral and global order. Addressing the 19th ASEAN-India Summit in Phnom Penh, Cambodia yesterday, Mr. Dhankar said India supports the centrality of ASEAN in the evolving architecture in Indo-Pacific. He said India and ASEAN share a common vision in ensuring peace, prosperity and stability in the region.
The cultural, economic and civilizational ties that have existed between India and Southeast Asia since time immemorial provided the strong foundation to build our partnership in modern times, from a sectoral partnership in 1992 to a comprehensive strategic partnership in 2022.
India and ASEAN have reaffirmed the importance of maintaining and promoting peace, stability, maritime safety, freedom of navigation and overflight in the Indo-Pacific region. In a joint statement, India and ASEAN also reaffirmed their commitment to peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with international law, including United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. They called for establishing a comprehensive strategic partnership and enhancing cooperation against terrorism as Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar addressed the 19th ASEAN-India Summit in Phnom Penh. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on the sidelines of the 19th ASEAN Summit at Phnom Penh in Cambodia yesterday. Dr. Jaishankar tweeted about a warm conversation with the United Nations Secretary General at the end of the ASEAN Gala dinner. Dr. Jaishankar, who is accompanying Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar on this ASEAN Summit, also met U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand and Foreign Minister Don Pramudwinai on this occasion. He said they discussed shared regional concerns and the strengthening partnership with ASEAN. Dr. Jaishankar also met Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba, Singapore's Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan and Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi. An Indian media delegation on a visit to Singapore and Cambodia under the ASEAN-India Media Exchange Program called on the Cambodian Minister of Information, Mr. Q. Kanharit, in Phnom Penh today. On the concluding day of the visit, the delegation shared their experiences about Media Exchange Program with him. Mr. Kanharit apprised the delegation of the civilizational links between the two countries, on India's steadfast support and contribution for the restoration of Angkor Wat and Ta Prohm temples. He said India and Cambodia are not just neighbors but members of one family. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be on a 3-day visit to Indonesia from tomorrow to attend the 17th G20 summit in Bali, Indonesia. During this summit, G20 leaders will deliberate extensively upon key issues of global concern under the summit theme of Recover Together, Recover Stronger. 3 working sessions will be held as part of the G20 summit agenda. These are food and energy security, health and digital transformation. At the closing session of the summit, the Indonesian president will symbolically hand over the G20 presidency to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. India will formally assume the G20 presidency from the 1st of December 2022. On the sidelines of the summit, Prime Minister Modi will hold bilateral meetings with some of his counterparts. He will also address and interact with the Indian community in Bali. Talking to media, Indian ambassador to Indonesia, Manoj Kumar Bharti, said Prime Minister's visit will be short, but it's very important. He said it is important because India is about to take the G20 presidency from Indonesia. He said, as far as Indonesia's presidency is concerned, India has continuously provided help to Indonesia, and the Indonesian government recognizes India's cooperation too. The envoy said the Prime Minister launched the logo of India's presidency and website, and this is a very good opportunity to show our presidency in front of all the leaders of the world.
We would certainly like to see that the main theme that Indonesian presidency had extended of recover together, recover stronger, and the pillars of health, digital transformation and renewable energy is taken forward, because this also falls in thinking pattern of the developing nature of India's own economy. When Prime Minister launched our presidency logo and the website, we emphasized our position about the concept of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, one world, one family, one future.
Several world leaders, including US President Joe Biden, Chinese leader Xi Jinping, and Britain's new Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, are attending the summit. Over 75% voter turnout was recorded for assembly elections in Himachal Pradesh. Polling for all the 68 seats was held yesterday in the state. Overall poll percentage is likely to go up after adding 5 categories of postal ballots. The highest, 85.2% voting, was recorded in the Doon seat, whereas the lowest, 62.53% voting, was registered in the Shimla urban constituency. Poll percentage in 2017 Assembly poll was 75.57%. Counting of votes in the state will be held on December the 8th. With voting being over for the assembly elections in Himachal Pradesh, now all eyes are focused on the Gujarat polls. State and national level leaders of various parties have started campaigning in the state. Here's a report from our correspondent.
Under the Aggressor Gujarat campaign of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, many union ministers are meeting common people in different areas. Union Minister of Tribal Welfare Arjun Munda and Union Minister for Animal Husbandry Purushottam Bhai Rupala are meeting tribal representatives at Tapi, Dahod and Aravalli today. UP Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya will talk to people in Ahmedabad and Anand. BJP's Kerala State President K. Surendran is also in Gujarat. He will inform about the policies and programs of BJP in Ahmedabad. Aggressor Gujarat means Progressive Gujarat is a campaign of BJP under which the party is seeking suggestions from all sections of the society for its manifesto. Congress and Aam Aadmi Party leaders are also campaigning at different places. With Aparna Khoot, Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी, तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर, या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर, और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब. आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास.
Agriculture Secretary Manoj Ahuja has said that agriculture and horticulture activities are the backbone of the Northeast region, and government is looking at these activities with a value chain approach. He was talking exclusively to AIR on the sidelines of a review meeting of major programs and schemes of northeastern states under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare at the Central Institute of Horticulture at Medzipema, Nagaland yesterday. Ahuja said the government is looking at the agricultural produce in an integrated manner, right from getting good quality seeds to marketing it. In Tamil Nadu, incessant rain have disrupted normal life in many districts. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin today visited rain-affected areas to take stock of the situation. Here's more from our correspondent.
Following heavy rains last week, normal life was disrupted in Nilgiris, Kadalur, Nagapattinam, among other districts. Agricultural lands have been affected in these places. The state government had declared holidays for the educational institutions to provide shelters and also as a precautionary measure for students. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin visited rain-hit areas and inspected the rehabilitation work today. He said that the state was ready to tackle the situation. Teams from the NDRF have been sent to various districts to act upon emergency conditions. Water levels are being monitored and surplus water has been released due to prediction of more rains this week. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Environment Secretary Leena Nandan has said that adaptation must be at the forefront of development interventions. She was speaking during a session at the India Pavilion at COP27 in Egypt. The session on long-term strategy on adaptation and adaptation readiness in India was organized by the Energy and Resources Institute, TERI. Underscoring the imperative need for finance for adaptation, Ms. Nandan pointed out that developing a global baseline to enhance transparency and investor confidence is a crucial measure in enhancing adaptation readiness. She said the institutional arrangement, the action plan and resource mobilization all have to walk hand in hand and see the macro picture through the same lens. During her address, the Secretary emphasized on the need for information dissemination to strengthen communities for adaptation. Hundreds of environmental activists today called on industrialized nations to pay for the impact of climate change and speed up the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy. This was the largest protest so far at the UN Climate Summit known as COP27 in Egypt. The protesters marched through the conference's blue zone, which is considered a UN territory and ruled by international law. The Democratic Party will retain majority control of the U.S. Senate after winning a pivotal race in Nevada. President Joe Biden's Democrats retained control of the U.S. Senate on Saturday, a remarkable midterms election result that defies predictions of a Republican win over both houses of Congress. Midterms traditionally deliver a rejection of the party in power, and with inflation surging and Mr. Biden's popularity in the doldrums, Republicans had been expecting to ride a mighty red wave and capture the Senate and the House of Representatives. But the wave never got much beyond a ripple. The win clinches Democratic control in the Senate as Vice President Kamala Harris can cast the tie-breaking vote if the upper chamber is evenly split 50-50. U.S. aviation authorities said that 6 people are feared dead after 2 World War II-era airplanes collided and crashed during an air show in Dallas. A number of videos of the mid-air collision are making rounds on the social media. In the videos, 2 aircraft appear to collide in the air before they both rapidly descended, causing a large fire and plumes of black smoke. The Federal Aviation Administration said it will investigate the crash at the Wings Over Dallas Air Show on Saturday, which describes itself as the U.S.'s premier WWW2 air show. The final of T20 World Cup cricket match between England and Pakistan is underway at Melbourne. Pakistan were 45 for 2 in 7.3 overs against England when reports last came in. Earlier, England won the toss and decided to bowl first. The composition of both the teams remained unchanged from the semi-final victories. In semi-final, Pakistan had defeated New Zealand by 7 wickets, while England reached final, beating India by 10 wickets in second semi-final. International Cricket Council ICC has announced the venue for Under-19 Men's and Women's T20 World Cup. In a media release, ICC said the 2024 Under-19 Men's T20 World Cup will be hosted by Sri Lanka, while the 2026 edition will be staged in Zimbabwe and Namibia. The 2025 Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup will be held in Malaysia and Thailand. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India and ASEAN share a common vision in ensuring peace, prosperity and stability in the region, says Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on a 3-day visit to Indonesia tomorrow to attend the 17th G20 summit in Bali. Campaigning gains momentum for 2-phase assembly polls in Gujarat. India underscores the need of finance for adaptation at UN Climate Conference COP27 in Egypt. And in cricket, T20 World Cup final between Pakistan and England underway at Melbourne. For details of these stories and more, you may log on to our website www.news.air.gov.in. And with that, we end the Midday News.